Just another day, the same old, same old. Hey, IJ. I really wasn't planning on doing tonight. I didn't have no idea. But being you asked, I guess you missed me. Well, that's good to know. It seems big a share of the time, notifications don't go out for mine. It's the same thing like if you look at some of my live streams afterwards, the comments on them, there's nothing there. I'll get the notification on a comment, I'll reply to it, but it never shows up under the video. Sorry, what? Well, it's a good thing. But you only give me one thumbs up. I always give you 17 down. Hey, Sammy. Did you get that cabinet finished? Hey, JB. I thought you'd be camping again. Didn't you say you was going to go camping again for over till Sunday? Or did you skip one night? Hey, Josh. Just the same old, same old. Nothing much happening here. I went out today and got in more firewood and stuff and got it stocked around the stove. It's not supposed to be too cold tonight, but Sunday night and Monday night is supposed to be down in the 30s. Yeah, Josh is hard to keep up with. He's just never around. Okay. I know the other night there you said you thought about the idea of going till Sunday or whatever, but I didn't quite understand what you meant. But so I didn't know whether you stayed all weekend or was going to skip a day and go back, or it seemed like the other night everybody had fun. Okay. After the rest of you guys all went to bed, did your dad stay up all night? He said he was going to stay up and keep watch. See, if you did that here with all of your pots and stuff sitting outside like that afterwards, here you'd have a bear in them finishing off whatever food was left. Too early. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because it was midnight for her, so it would have been noon for me, 11 o'clock in the morning for you. I'd forgot about that. And marshmallows. Don't forget those. JB, do you ever fix hot dogs over open fire that way? Not in the pan, but on the stick like you did the marshmallows? See, we've always done that before. Only we don't use, whoever your brother, whoever that was, had a short stick of what it looked like doing the marshmallows. We get some that are pretty near a meter long, a little less maybe, and slide a hot dog down over the end of it, and then cook it over the fire the same way you did the marshmallows. And cooking them on the open like that, like you do the marshmallows, any grease or anything that's in the hot dog drips out in the fire, so makes the hot dog almost grease free to an extent. And it's just fun to do, just something the kids can each do with their own hot dog or whatever. Marshmallows are always just a fun thing. Hey, Darylou. JB, did you ever try to make what they call s'mores? You use graham crackers, Hershey chocolate, candy bars, and then your marshmallows. You roast your marshmallow, put it between two layers of cracker with a piece of the Hershey candy bar, squish it together. Makes a different type of snack, and they just call it s'mores, S-M-O-R apostrophe S, and I think it just got the name from everybody saying they wanted some more. What are you doing now, Darylou? You didn't stay very long on your live earlier. Looked like you was busy and had to go somewhere. Yeah, JB, it's something that kind of the adults or whatever have to do. The little kids can't do it because it's hard to put them together. But, they will like them. Google it sometime and you can see how they're done better than I can explain it to you. You're working on Sunday, Darylou? I thought you were off today. Hey, Bikini. How are you today? Yeah, but you got to watch some brands of hot dogs. I've seen them before when you put them in the fire like that, on the spit that way to cook them. The fire heats them up so quick they'll split open down the side of it. Oh, I like to toast the marshmallows, but you just kind of watch them, or they get too hot, they'll fall off on you and you lose them in the fire. You're going hiking today and it's foggy. Well, one sounds good, the other don't sound good, other than the fact that if it's foggy, it'd be cool. But I think you've been running with cool weather anyways, so that may not be a good thing. Well, most kids do. It's just some of us never outgrow it. That's right. IJ, I just never outgrew it, I could live on sweets. I've got stuff in the kitchen there to make them. I just haven't done it yet, to make brownies and pecan pie and pumpkin pie and Oh, he has to go to Manila for that? Hey, Bill. I know it's you because you said bam. No, her son's going to Manila. He's, what is it, military or whatever, JB? Bikini, what time are you going hiking? It's already 9:30 there. Or have you already left us? What have you been up to, Bill? I see you and Mercy have done a couple lives there lately, but I haven't had a chance to catch them. Oh, okay. I misunderstood you. I thought you said he was going. I'm sorry. I didn't read it all. I got ahead of myself. See, I read the first part of it. You said where he'll arrive from his training. Then before, then I thought he had to go back to Manila. Okay. I was jumping ahead of myself. You have to go collect it. They won't send it to you. You must be talking about Fonzo. He's just, in my opinion, irritating. Okay. I thought you'd said that before. I didn't remember about it being in Manila, but yes, IJ, I can still jump, just not very high. I fall down and get hurt if I'm not careful. Anybody we know, Bill, or are you keeping it secret until he gets there? Yeah, and I'm in concurrence there with Josh. I would have kicked him out too. Okay. Well, that way also too gives you a chance to look the place over and stuff and make sure everything's up to what you expect of it and whatever. I used to have rental property, but I got tired of that same game, spending all my time chasing them to get the rent, and then they would turn around and have something break or whatever, and instead of telling me so I could get it fixed, I wouldn't see it till the next time I went looking for them to collect rent or something, and say, well, when did this get broke? Oh, that happened quite a while back. We just didn't call you yet. I had one guy that I rented a place to, and then later his girlfriend and their two kids moved in with him, and both of them were working. I guess they had a teenage babysitter on and off. And one day, the lake I've showed you in one of my previous videos, the kids were clear down at the lake. The place I was renting is what's across the road from me here now, where I was taking care of the dogs at. I used to own that. And the kids had walked clear down to the lake when I found them, took them back home. The babysitter was asleep on the living room couch. Then after they moved out, when I was going through to clean stuff up and do whatever, in one bedroom there, the window screens were all poked full of little holes about that long, just thin cuts in the screen, whole mess of them. I asked them about it sometime later when I ran into them again, what happened to it. And one of the little kids there, like I said, they were only 5, 6 years old, said, "Oh, there was a fly in the window. We took a knife and kept stabbing it till we killed it." Yeah, short term JB is probably easier to work with because the people aren't there long enough to tear stuff up. And you're seeing it more often, I think, and keeping better control of it. When you got somebody that's renting there by monthly deal like that, I never used to go over every month unless it was had to collect rent from them because they hadn't showed up. Yeah, IJ, they took a knife and just kept going like this here, stabbing them through the screen, trying to get the fly between the screen and the window because the windows are crank out. But I just always hated the thing with the rental, like I said, having to go hunt them down to collect it because whatever came up, they had a other emergency and they didn't have the money on time to pay me. And I used to tell them, I said, if you can't do it right now, get a hold of me, at least let me know so I'm not having to chase you down and I'll work something out with you. Otherwise, it looks like you're hiding from me. JB, do you know Vicky? Her channel is Exotic Filipina, or Exotic Filipina, or Exotic Pine. But she's down somewhere, I think, below Dumaguete. She was doing that for a while. She would rent a whole house and then rent out the individual rooms to foreigners, whatever, short term. But she did that right up until COVID shut her down, just because she wasn't getting the tourist trade to keep it going, so she couldn't afford the rent that she was paying to have the house. Okay. Well, I just didn't know if you knew her or not like that. If it's somebody, maybe you could, two of you talk back and forth and just share ideas. She's kind of like you, she's a go-getter, always looking for a way to make money. She just recently got married with an online, wedding. Her LDR lives in Germany. But here just a few months ago, they got married and did a live stream while it was happening. Hey, Ken. Yeah, it's been nice the last couple days. Sunday and Monday night supposed to be back down to 30s again. Hey, Maureen. JB, when you said the ones there in Angeles short term, like you did the ones in Hong Kong, or you mean like by just a month or something? Okay, you two, quit the mushy stuff here now. Hey, Gene, how are you today? You always do your live streams middle of the afternoon, which middle of the night for me, and I always miss yours. Okay, because the places, the of what you showed me there, you had some nice places. Uh, I'm not familiar with him, Bill. Maybe I've seen him, but I just don't recognize the name. The other thing is, I don't know, I'm not saying this person has, but the other thing that too many have done is, hey, Marty, too many of them keep changing their channel names, and I can't keep up with them. Chicasaurus is one. I told her that the other day. I said she's changed her name a lot of times since I've known her. Hart Gasper has. Even Rena Roberts has changed hers since I've known her. Well, if you're asking me if I was talking to you, I said hi to you. Or are you trying to tell me you changed your channel name too and I just didn't even realize it? I agree with you, JB, because I've had somebody do that before. Josh came in using my name. But JB, I agree with you. You change your name, and a lot of people, because there's others that I've been sub to for years, and they change their name, and when it comes up, that so and so's on, I said, not familiar with that one, and I'll just skip over it and go on to something else. And then later realize, that was somebody I normally went to their lives or their videos or whatever. Well, see, Marty, that's the other thing is I don't have a bunch of multiple channels. I've got one other, and the reason I made it was because at one point I got locked out of this one. I forgot my password. And when I tried to go in and do the recovery on it, it wouldn't recognize my email. And I played with it for a long time. So I started a new channel, and my new channel was just Happy Pappy 2. I used it for a while I was playing with this one. And then one day I was just going back through old emails, which I very seldom ever delete a lot of the old emails. I keep them for whatever reason, I don't know. But I went back to 2012 when I started this channel and found an email that gave me the information to recover my password. And I had it all there. I'd still save that email since 2012. She has 62 channels, huh? So she can change twice a day and have a different one all month long. Okay, JB, thanks for stopping by. Don't work too hard today. Yeah, IJ, she's got almost as many as you. Well, I have just the two, like I said. And the other one, the only reason I made it, like I said, I forgot the password to this one until I recovered it again. And this one, I started this channel in 2012 and just kept the same name with it ever since. I use the same name on my email and the same name on Skype. In fact, I have two emails with this name on it because I've always used Yahoo for talking to people, doing stuff, whatever. And then when I set up my YouTube, they wanted you to use Gmail, so I made a Gmail, again using the same name. That way I don't confuse myself. I still know who I am. Yes, that's all I do use. I used to use Yahoo Messenger till they discontinued it. And before that, and at the same time I was using Yahoo Messenger, I used AIM, which is AOL Messenger, and I used MSN Messenger. Hey, Boosie. How are you this morning? It's too late. You already told us you are. IJ, I'll make you a moderator so you can kick him out. I'm doing okay. It's just same old, just different day. There isn't too much changes around here except the weather. Well, I knew it was you, Josh. That's why I told IJ I was going to make her moderator so she can kick you out, time me out, or whatever. His robot account's the one he pays IRS with. I think I need to go buy me a new printer. I can't get the one I've got to match up with either of my computers now. When I try to hit print, it keeps saying it can't find the printer. And I need to get one so I can do my income tax and file my final. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut stuff down as far as my trucking. So I file my final IFTA report. And Marty, that's Bill. Ken and Maureen both got quiet. I was going to pick on all of them tonight when they came in because the other night, Ken and Maureen, Mike and Rena, and the other Mike and his girl there, You'd Wish, was all talking about how many babies they were all going to have. Yeah, Ken's still here, so he didn't go too far. Haven't heard anything from Mike today. He must still be on the road. Oh, it's too late, Ken. Maureen already said she wants 6. He is back home. Okay. I just hadn't seen him on today, but I hadn't been on here all the time either. I've been doing other stuff. Marty, what do you mean you can only have one? Yeah, she wants 6 more lizards and 6 more crabs. Yeah, I went to school with some kids. There was 13 kids in their family, and all of them were redheads. Oh, okay, I got you, Marty. Well, I'm sure that somebody in the Philippines can come up with a way and tell you how to cook the lizards too. I'm sure you could probably put them on a stick and roast them like you do marshmallows. Just wouldn't be a whole lot of meat there, except for that big one she's got. Like the ones you were cooking, IJ. Maureen has one at her house. That's what I had for lunch today, Bill. IJ asked about it earlier what I had, and I sliced up just a couple pieces of it. I have some a bottle of I thought it was horseradish, but it ended up being garlic paste. Put some of that on it. Then I put some mustard on it. And just took a fork and cut it up pieces and ate it. I usually use it to make a sandwich with it, but I didn't feel like taking the time to get the bread out. When I used to work in the jail system, I worked on the road crew truck there for a while. And the cook I had on my crew, he used to take there when he would go fix lunch for all the inmates and me. He used to even fry up the bologna. That way you had fried bologna instead of having it cold. Now, how do you know what state the crab's from? Maybe they're originally from Pennsylvania. They were just visiting Maryland. Hi, Jay. It's still 64 here right now. Yeah, see, could have been from Pennsylvania. Was just out on vacation. Yeah, our low tonight's supposed to be 58, then back to 70 tomorrow. But tomorrow night the low is going to be 39. Then Monday night the low is going to be 40. Thursday of next week it's supposed to be back up to 83 again during the day. Yeah, we'll see. Your temperature there is what I'm supposed to have tomorrow night. I'm supposed to be 39. That's too damn cold, JB or IJ. But that's why I went out today and carried in another bunch of firewood. That way I'll have it for tomorrow night. I didn't want to have to do it tomorrow because tomorrow's supposed to rain. Hey, HD. I don't think I've ever seen you here in my live before. Well, Josh, your 4 Celsius is my 39 Fahrenheit, which is what I'm talking about for tomorrow night. So your temperature now is what I'm supposed to be tomorrow night. Mine is 20 Celsius. It's too damn cold. But I grew up in northern New York, and I used to work on a dairy farm up there for a while. And there's times I'd be out riding around on a tractor with a manure spreader when it'd be 25 and 30 below zero. You just had to bundle up. Well, Josh, I didn't used to. When I lived up north, I mean, I was used to it then, but I've been in Florida now for, I think, 39 years or so. And when it gets below 70, now I'm cold. And 70 is 21 Celsius. Ken, you still talking to Marine, or have they headed to church? I do at times, IJ. Um, I don't miss the cold. I can't handle it no more. I don't miss the snow as far as having to drive in it and shovel it. I miss it, at Christmas time. Green green Christmas just don't seem the same. And the other thing too I miss from up there was, we had a nice green yard. You could go out and kids could roll around on the ground, in the grass and stuff, and have fun. Down here, it's hard to. Oh, they're already out of church. Okay, down here it's hard to have enough grass to do it. They're rolling around in the sand instead. What New York do I really miss? Well, I don't know. Miss the Four Seasons a little bit because down here we don't really have it. I mean, we either have hot weather or cold weather. The leaves do change somewhat, but not to the extent they do up north anywhere. Now, food wise, I eat most anything, so that don't make any difference. Hey, Mike, I was just asking Ken a while ago if you were home or still on the road. I'm in Florida. I'm about 35 miles, so 45 minutes or so west of Daytona Beach. Yeah. The thing that always got me, Bill, when I was over there, going to I was only in Jollibee's once, but it just kind of seems strange, to go in there to order breakfast. They want to hand me rice. I'm used to be able to go in, to like McDonald's and get the egg McMuffin or something, or pancakes or whatever. Yeah, I'm about 35 miles west of Daytona Beach and about 50 miles north of Orlando. I'm about 60 miles southeast of Ocala. I'm around, I don't know, 75 or 80 miles north of Disney. We can, Josh, but they have water restrictions as far as what days, and you can't water after, like, I think it's either 9 or 10 in the morning and before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I'd have to look it up to see, but one half of the year you can only do water once a week, and the other half is twice a week. And what days you do it is like the old gasoline rationing, where depending on what your license plate was, which day you could get it. Well, it's the same thing here. Whatever your address is depends on what day you can water. Now, if you have new grass or something like that, you can water with no restrictions, or your garden, or you can go out and hand water with a hand nozzle, and there's no restrictions. Well, we have that same thing too, Josh. There's people that'll set up their sprinklers, not pay attention to them, and they're watering the street. IJ, you have to kind of go with Mike on this stuff because he's using what do you call it there? Voice to text, and it don't always put down what he says. Whenever Ivesor comes on, when he says her name, it always comes out Avatar. Yeah, but the thing of it up there, Josh, water that's wasted, you're putting a lot of it back in the ground, you know, and it's kind of recycles. Down here, wasted water, with it being so hot, it evaporates and then ends up elsewhere when it rains. Catch you later, HD. Yeah, Bill, if you can get the game, Ken will come over to your place and watch it. As somebody else recently said about like using a cell phone while driving a commercial vehicle, it's only illegal if you get caught. Still 64 here, Mike. It's supposed to be 39 tomorrow night. Have any of you been following stuff very much on that Freedom Convoy? I see some stuff online here. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. A Canadian judge has ordered that at one of the border crossings they've got to move the trucks off so they're not blocking traffic anymore because it's stopping, you know, trade goods from going either back and forth over the border. And up in Ottawa, I heard that they said up there, somebody's come up with it somewhere through the legal system. They said that any firefighter, paid or volunteer, can bring in food, LP, diesel, whatever, to any of the truckers. By law, they can legally do it. Where the Ottawa police had said, you know, they couldn't do it, and people bringing it in might be arrested. And then another one there, and I haven't gotten no verification on it yet because they said they were still checking to see if it was true or somebody's just starting a rumor that some judge said somewhere that what the police did up there, where they confiscated all of the diesel and LP gas and stuff from the truckers there in Ottawa, was illegal, and instructed the police to return it all to the location they picked it up from, not just drop it off in some corner and say, here it is, come get it. They had to take it back to the exact location that they confiscated it from. And there's been a few Canadian police officers that have came on, done YouTube videos where they're kind of siding with the truckers and stuff. They're in disagreement with what's going on with everything else with the government, knowing that it's probably going to cost them their job. Mike, is Rena going to be going live here shortly, being they've gone out to eat? Well, that's a possibility, but this time, though, they got so much, public backing from all the other citizens and whatnot. And I know I've got more time to watch that stuff than what you do, but I've seen so much of it there where not just the truckers there, a lot of people are there, like in Ottawa and at the other blockades and stuff at the border crossings in their own private vehicles, and they pulled in campers and everything else where they're staying. There's been a lot of farmers have gone in with their big John Deere tractors and stuff. The police at one point there tried to block the road off so that the convoy couldn't go down through it. All them big farm tractors just went off out through the ditch and around them and went on down the road. And there's been several places now where a bunch of people are coming in and they're going through it now with horses. They're going right out down the streets and stuff, or down the interstates, whatever, riding horseback. Well, I didn't know where they were either, Mike, but Ken told me that they were already out of church. So they must have caught the early one this morning. All right, catch you later, Bill. Thanks for stopping by. Another nap. Mercy's probably got a honeydew list for him. IJ got quiet. Where'd she go? Lady Marty got quiet. Oh, there you are. Dara Lou got quiet, but she said she was at work. Bikini got quiet, but she said she was going hiking. Yeah, you kind of sleep on and off at some odd hours, IJ, because then you're up here doing live streams middle of the night. Live streams or premieres. With your girls. What girls are you talking about? Pizza sounds good. Even though I had just finished eating before I started this. Okay, that settles it. Everybody to Ken's house for pizza. Oh, okay. I get you now, IJ. What'd you do? Have trouble finding him there at the church? Hey, Jay, you ever have the stuffed crust pizza where around the outer edge of it there they have it full of cheese? I like those. The thin crust always comes out too hard, almost like eating a cracker. I never know if it's right or not. It shows there's only three of you here. A while ago, I had people sitting here talking, and it showed there wasn't anybody here. Well, I hadn't noticed the salty part on that, but I've just always thought it, made the crust, depending on how long it's cooked, makes the crust get hard. I don't remember who makes the stuffed crust. I don't know if you can store buy it, but one of them, Pizza Hut or Domino's or one of them. Yeah, I don't doubt that, Ken. But one of them places, that you can go and either take out pizza or eat in. You can get the stuffed crust. I like those. Yeah, and half the time the numbers don't match up at the end either. When you get done, it tells you how many was here and whatnot. And then when you go back to rewatch it or anything, the number of views was not what you had showing when it was live. And my sub count just um, my sub count keeps going up and down and never varies too much by any part of it. I'll go up three or four and then I'll drop three or four. I'll go up two and then I'll drop four. And then I'll go up three and I'll drop one. And Mike's beyond help. Yeah, this t-shirt that I put on today, I don't like it. The neck in it's too tight. Yeah, but Ken, just think of the watch hours I can get if Mike confesses. I'll have to stop it and restart it because YouTube will only let you post, I think, 11 hours and 59 minutes. Then you got to start a new one. I'm just glad I don't have to take the live streams and upload them like I do videos. It takes so long just to upload a video, and I'd hate to have to do a live stream. I don't know what these are, IJ. I think they were give to me. I don't know who by who now. I used to always buy Fruit of the Loop brand just because they're cheaper than Hanes, but lately I've been getting Hanes just because I think they're a little better quality. Hey, Deborah. How are you today? Jean was here a little while ago, but she didn't stay long. Mike, have you been peeking again? And now Whiteford's in the house, or is that White Chevy? I know it's not Dodge because I don't want to Dodge. I'm never quite sure whether Deborah and Jean cover for each other when they're doing lives and videos and whatever, or if they only have one phone set up so they can't both do it at the same time. You never see both of them on live at the same time. Either one is or the other. Then they'll switch and the other one is. Dangerous to do what in Canada? What did I miss? Oh, what Josh said. Deborah, you going to tell us what you sent Brett the package, or hasn't he got it yet? So you can't say before he gets it. I think he sent to him and was it Kuya Gourds? Almost opposite ends of the country, Washington and Chicago. that, Josh, or have an icicle hanging off it. Josh, I want to see your explanation for this. Now the little girl in IJ comes out. IJ, to make it simple, you wear your jeans or your skirt or whatever with nothing under it. Well, I was going to say, now she'll never ask a question on YouTube again. IJ will be sitting there watching all this there and says, I wonder what they're talking about. I wonder what they're talking about. I'm not going to ask. Well, that's like is it the Scottish that wear the kilts and supposedly don't wear anything under them either? Yeah, really. Ken, that's when you get Wrangler button ups. How do we come up with these topics? Later, when IJ and Lola are having their midnight snack, she'll be in there and says, "You won't believe what them guys were talking about." Well, IJ, there's a lot of girls that go that way too, and some of them do it even while wearing a skirt or a dress. Why 1 a.m.? You and her both seem to stay up awful late. Does she have a YouTube channel that we aren't aware of? Well, maybe she should try it at 9 or 10 so she wouldn't have to wait till 1 o'clock to sleep. Or IJ, does she have you drink it and knock you out so she can go out alone? She goes out for her late night rendezvous. Well, many people come up with, a lot of different excuses for why they should drink. I've got another neighbor that was that way. I used to get on to him all the time about how much he drank. He's already had bypass surgery and whatnot. And the doctor told him, he needed to quit smoking and cut back on the drinking and whatnot. And he said, "Oh yeah, but the doctor says drinking occasionally is good for him." I said, yeah, but not a 12 pack a night. Josh, you corrupted her. Yeah, but IJ, if you drink other liquids besides the alcohol, replaces the fluid back in your body, you don't have a problem with a headache afterwards. Your hangover, as it's called, is caused by dehydration. Alcohol dehydrates you. Well, that may work for you, Josh, but sometimes greasy food to some people it just make them get sick. Any kind of food would help because it helps to absorb the alcohol so it doesn't go in your system as fast. But the greasy foods with some people might upset their stomach. If you would eat either before drinking or while drinking, would help to prevent it too. Because, like I say, the food helps to absorb the alcohol so it doesn't go into your body as fast. Yeah, I can. And that way, Ken, on the way home, when the officer stops you and says, "You've been drinking?" Says, "Yeah, I was drinking water." Years back when I drank quite a bit, thing I always got into when I got home was orange juice. People try to tell you, if you get drunk or whatever, drink coffee to sober up. There isn't anything that sobers you up except time. It's however much time it takes to get whatever amount of alcohol you consumed out of your system. Well, that's very possible, Mike. Like I said, it varies from person to person. Um, you just have to kind of find what works for you. Replacing the fluids back in your system helps with a hangover or to prevent a hangover. Any liquid, preferably non caffeine, non sugar drinks, because caffeine and sugar both dehydrate you too. Before you drink or while you're drinking, eating stuff will help. Like I said, the food absorbs the alcohol so it doesn't go into your system as fast. Yeah, she's calling, might tell you need to go to Western Union. You got to go to Western Union too, Ken. Yeah, that's the way I did it, IJ. I have a Western Union Gold card, and I can just do it there and give them my number. That way, I don't have to fill any information out. They've already got it all. Even if I go to the Western Union office, I just give them the card, and I don't have to fill anything out other than who it's going to. The one that I use a lot anymore is PayPal. That way, they don't have to go to get the money. They can just do it online also. Switch it to their Gcash. How do you do it, IJ? Josh, wake up. The biggest things with half that stuff, as far as sending money, though, is the damn transfer fees and whatever that each of them charges. I bank with Wells Fargo. They've also got that other one there called, what is it, Zelle? But I've never tried it, so I don't know how that works. And I think one of them there, IJ, with Wells Fargo, if you take and send it that way, bank to bank, if they you can do it where they get the money immediately, there's a fee. But if you do it where they get it, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 days, I don't remember the time span, then you can do it free. Yeah, only works in the U.S. Okay. Like I said, I've never tried it. Every time I log in, it asks me if I want to send, when I'm doing my bill pay and stuff, if I want to send it Zelle. Well, you have to set it up on both ends with it. So I just do the standard bill pay. It don't cost me anything that way anyway, so it don't matter to me. Zoom is free if you send 200 or above. Okay. I've never used that either. I used to use Western Union all the time, but like the fees and stuff, they get to you. And that's why, but even with PayPal, you have the fees on that too. But like I said, I've used the PayPal recently strictly because I can do it and they can pull it, you know, online, switches their Gcash online, and they're ready to go. They don't have to go to the Western Union office to pick it up. Yeah, Mike and Ken, they're eating steak now, but when you guys get there, they'll be feeding you rice. Won't be any steak for you guys. Yeah, rice and dried fish. Yeah, but Ken, you get steak and crab, or rice and crab, rather. I used to eat a fish when I was a kid at home that looks a lot like your dried fish you guys show all the time. They were small like that and whatever. And you just, you know, we cut the heads off the fish here and then gut them. But they were small that way. When you cooked them, you ate them bones and all. They were called smelt. They only ran in the spring. And I used to go down the dock with my dip net and just dip them out and then dump the net into a 5 gallon bucket and just I could fill a 5 gallon bucket in the evening with them fish. But then it would take me 2 or 3 days to clean them all. I did that one night. I was out dipping for smelt off the dock there at my parents' house, and they were running good that night. And I just kept doing it because I was getting so many of them. I just kept going, filled the bucket up, and I started cleaning them that night. And then the next evening, my mom and I worked on them again, and I think the day after, before we got them all cleaned. I know somebody that's an expert at that. He has his own channel. You've never fished since you've been here, IJ? I haven't fished since I've been in Florida, but when I lived up in New York, there I used to fish all the time off my parents' dock when I was a kid. Fished with an old bamboo fishing pole and a bobber. My great grandfather used to set out a night line out in the marsh, which is less than a mile from where we lived at. He'd do that during the spring there when the bullheads are running. And I've seen him go out with his boat to check his night lines the next, during the day and come back up the river with his boat just mounded with fish. I tried running night line for a while like that, but I didn't get the fish he got. But I like bullheads. They're like a catfish, just not as big. Well, they're expensive anymore because everything is. But back then, bamboo poles, you could get them most anywhere, and they didn't cost a lot. And as a kid, you can have as much fun with them as you can something expensive. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, the ones that I watched, some I was watching them more before, but I'm not as much now. Is Two Stands and Catfish Jody. And they were catching 30-pound catfish at times, which that's a big fish. I don't enjoy fishing enough to go out and sit in the cold weather like they're doing now. It's what you're saying there about videos being too long. The same thing with live streams. I don't go back and watch people's live streams. They're just too long like that most generally. And yeah, I'm sure that Rena or Marine One started the live stream wherever they're eating. You and Josh are probably the only ones here now. I was out washing the car yesterday. I don't edit any of mine. I don't know how. First off, on the laptop, I don't know of any way that I can do it without purchasing an editing program in order to be able to edit them. So I just haven't. I don't know which one to get. It's going to be the best to use. And so with that, I don't know how to do them anyways, because there's a lot of times they're like when I do a little video and stuff, I like to be able to do a section, stop it. I figured you were still there, Josh, but stop it and then go do another section and be able to post them as one longer video, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah, but is it free on the laptop or just on your cell phone? Because I was looking at them a long time back about that, and I don't remember which one it was. What I think so, maybe somebody else even said KineMaster, but what I found on it, I had to get another program that I had to pay for to get KineMaster to work on the laptop, which makes no sense. Well, see, IJ, there's one more than cases where I wish that, like you had Skype or something where we could sit and talk, and you could try to talk me through doing something like that because I don't know what I'm doing. And I watch some other people's videos too, their premieres and videos and whatever, and the editing they do on them just makes such a big difference in how the video's presented. One of the big things I need to do is, I went and got this keyboard that I told you about, but it's just awkward to try to use that with a laptop and use the other keyboard. So I do most of my typing on the laptop, but I have to keep switching over or reaching over and using the remote one for certain letters. So actually, I'm typing on two keyboards all the time, which takes longer. I need to go ahead and see about getting a keyboard replacement for this. And I need to get a battery in it. I called a place here local here recently, but I called Dell to see about ordering a battery. They don't have any in stock. Yeah, there's some stuff like that I'd like to just cut out because sometimes I forget about it, and when I'm doing something with the cats in one place and go to the other, I'm not even thinking about it, and end up showing the sidewalk while I'm walking instead of where I'm moving to or something. I'm just kind of like being on the radio and having what they call dead air. The only thing is, if you leave it there, it makes your video longer. But what I was saying about my battery, I called Dell because my laptop's a Dell. I've called them a couple times, see about ordering one. They don't even have them in stock. Don't know when they'll have them. So there's a place here. It's called Batteries Plus. It's a little over 20 miles from me. I called them recently. They said there's a lot of different variations. I'd have to just bring my other one in for them to match it. But most of them are pretty common. They have them all in stock. But I need to take mine over there and see about getting the battery. But the batteries, I don't remember, a little over $100, I think he said. But mine's at the point now that when I start the computer, I probably don't get everything logged in before it's around tell me I need to plug it in because my battery's down to 8%. It goes down that quick. And I think when I bought this computer, the battery was originally a 5-hour battery, maybe. I don't remember. But by having it where I can't do that, but just a couple minutes and it's done. I can't take the computer anywhere else, but where I've got the cord plugged in at. What took too long? I missed something somewhere. I don't get what you mean by it took too long. My big problem with it isn't getting it done. I mean, getting it is just deciding to go do it and take care of it. Oh, the keyboard, yeah, I can order it. I don't remember where it's coming out of. Somewhere up north. I don't remember now. I'd have to look up the link again to see but it's one of the northern states. I can get that. The battery, like I said, Dell does not have it. And I've tried them a couple of different times, months apart, and they just don't have it. But the other place, I just have to take the battery out of this and drive over there and get it. I just haven't done it. I'm like you when it comes to, you buying your stuff at the thrift store and whatever. I'm just tight on what I do. I won't make 6 trips to town to get 6 different items. I try to get it where I can go to town one time and do all 6 things. I hate to waste the money, to just keep running. Plus, it's more wear and tear in your vehicle. Well, it was, but I got a message comes up now every time after I start it that it's unable to connect the Bluetooth thing or whatever. I don't remember what it calls it. But, like my printer sits over there and I could, sit here and do stuff wireless and print. But I can't get it to connect to it anymore. But even my desktop over there, it's a Mac, Apple, but it won't connect to the printer anymore. I can use the printer, put something in it and scan it and print it. But as far as typing a letter on here, or on the desktop, and then hit print, it'll sit there and tell me it's searching for the printer and then says it can't connect. I think there's just something gone up in the printer, but it's old, so is the computer. I mean, the laptop or the desktop rather, I think it's 2011. And I imagine the printer is around that same age. This laptop, I got it in maybe 2015. Well, see, I didn't have to have a USB to do it there. It would connect, wireless without it. Now this is connected by a USB little plug that's stuck in the side of my laptop. But my other printer, it was completely wireless, nothing. I just had to go ahead and hit print and tell it, to search for the printer, and it would do it. I was playing with it here a while back, trying to get it to connect again, and I had it going through the search process, and it pulls up Sissy next door, her daughter's TV. Her daughter's name is Lacey, and it came up there. It was trying to connect to Lacey's TV. The only place I've never really looked for them because I hadn't thought about getting it until just recently. But the only place I've seen that computer before that I know or that printer rather, that I know they have it's at Best Buy. Because when I was there looking for computers, when I got this one, I went to Best Buy to see what they had because I was told to get a specific type of hard drive to take care of the vibration and whatnot in the truck. That's where I use this at. And the money difference on them was so much higher than just a standard hard drive. And I went and ordered this one from Dell afterwards without it. And the girl told me there, she said that as far as me using and stuff, I wouldn't have no problems with it. Brother, never heard of it. But while I was at Best Buy, I was talking to the guy there about getting a printer to put in the truck for doing my paperwork and stuff when I was on the road. And he went and showed me one on the shelf, and it's identical to what I had over here. And he told me that was the best printer to put in a vehicle. Vibration wouldn't hurt it and whatever. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Oh, no. One I have now is an HP. I've got a couple others out in the bunkhouse. One of them is one that Mom had used. The other one I think is one that I had. They're identical. Mine's still in the box, never been used. But it's, crap, probably 15 years old. Hey, Monroe. How you doing tonight? Yeah, I've been on almost 2 hours. CIJ, here's another one that he changed his channel name recently. Well, my other one out there, I don't know if it does work. I've never had it working. Like I said, one's brand new in the box, never been used, and the other one was mom's. And I don't think it probably works anymore. At first, I was trying to sell them on Craigslist just to get rid of them, but being they're older, nobody wants them. I'll probably end up just junking them. I've got two other laptops that one's a Dell. It still works, but it doesn't work real good. And I've got a Toshiba that I used to use all the time, and I really like it. But the hard drive went up in it. And I think a new hard drive for it's around $200. But everything works on the older systems where it's not feasible to put money into it because it wouldn't be able to keep up with anything. I think it runs on Windows 98. Yeah, see, when he first came in, I read the name and it didn't dawn on me, it was his there because it says North Carolina. I was thinking Live with No Snow. And then there's Live with No Snow, or no, it's No More Snow. And then No More Snow Live. Because No More Snow Live is Jim, who is Ken Unger's brother. And No More Snow is Jim's Filipino wife. I'm like you, IJ. I mean, you go to the thrift stores and buy your clothes and stuff. That's just the way I've always been. If I can find something cheaper and get the quality that I want, I do it. Other than deciding what they're going to do with me afterwards, I'm being cremated. I've already paid for that. I paid for my cremation back in, I think, 2001. When I did mine, I think I paid 900 and something for it. That price is locked in for as long as I'm, alive. And I've got travel insurance on it too, so it doesn't matter whether I'm here or in the Philippines or whatever, they will ship me back. Mom and Dad had the same thing for theirs. They had got theirs before I did. I think they only paid 700 and something for theirs. A friend of mine here, local, the one I told you I get the cans from, but he just went and got his taken care of. And I think he paid a little over 2,000 for it. It's gone up that much, since I did mine. But a regular funeral is, depending on how you do it, where you do it, whatever, is 8 to 10,000. That's going to be your job, IJ. Now, as far as hey, Crystal. Well, I plan on being around a while, Monroe. It's just I went ahead and got it taken care of, a long time back, so that I don't have to worry about it, and nobody else does either. What I was going to say though, IJ, was I don't know how that works. As far as like if I was in the Philippines, whatever. Like I said, I got the travel insurance that's supposed to take care of shipping me back. But I think the way they do it is they cremate me there, then ship the ashes home. But here, like when Mom and Dad passed away, Mom passed away at home. Dad passed away in rehab center. We just called them, or well, the rehab center called them. Here, I had to call, 911 because fire department has to go out and verify that she has passed. And then the sheriff's department showed up to do the report that it was, no foul play. Then they called the 800 number I had for the cremation to come pick them up. And they just send a van out with 2 people in it and pick you up and take you back to their location, which from here is, depending on which road you go, maybe 50 miles away. And then I think they ship you down to Tampa to be cremated, and then bring the ashes back up to the cremation society over here, and you go pick them up there. When Mom and Dad passed in January, Mom passed in June of the same year. But after Dad passed, Mom went and bought 2 aluminum urns for their ashes. Got, his and hers, because they're different colors, different design, whatever, but they're identical, same size and shape. And then after Mom had passed, my nephew built a box, spent a fortune on the wood and stuff for it because he got some really expensive, nice looking wood, put some fancy finish on it and all that. And he carved the insides of them out. So when you put the lid on, the lid went over top of the urn so it can't move around and stuff. And it set into markings in the bottom so it can't move around and whatnot. And the lid was sealed on it and all that. It really looked nice. But then you take that thing out and bury it in the ground at the cemetery, on their plot, which means in time that expensive wood's just going to rot away. But it looked nice for the service. And it made my sisters happy. And then when we had the service at the cemetery, they hadn't even dug the hole yet, to put that in. Or maybe he had, yeah, they did have it dug because, it didn't have to be too big. Yeah, well, that's what I said. It made my sisters happy, even though it was an impractical expenditure of money. But they had it dug, and then the box was a fraction bigger than what they thought, whatever, when they dug the hole. So my sisters left. They couldn't watch. But I went ahead and helped the guy. We dug the hole out a little bit bigger, and I helped him, get it set in and covered up and whatnot. When my dad was a kid at home, him and one of his brothers and my grandfather used to dig graves all the time. They grew up on a farm in Kansas, and right across the highway from the farm was a local cemetery. And Dad said there's a lot of times there that my grandfather would come in, early in the morning or late at night, whatever, and say, "Come on, we got to go dig a grave." My dad grew up on a small farm in southeast Kansas, but he was one of 7 kids. But there's only Two of my dad's brother and sisters left. One brother and one sister, both younger than him. I have two sisters. They're both younger than me. One lives in New York, and the other lives in Indiana. Yeah, the one in Indiana is a little bit south of Elkhart, and the one in New York is a little bit west of Watertown. Her husband just retired this past year. They were talking for a long time that when he retired, they were going to sell their house up there and move farther south. They didn't want to come to Florida because they can't handle the heat, but they were talking, maybe Virginia or someplace. I don't know what they're going to do now. She's not in the best of health. She's got a lot of little things wrong with her. Makes it hard for her to do stuff. I don't know if she even gets on the computer anymore. She used to spend a lot of time on it like I did because she did it for work. Years ago, she worked with a company called RGIS, which stands for Retail Grocery Inventory Service. Her and I both started off in it many years ago in New York as inventory people. We went in the stores and we did the inventory for, the stores. But she worked her way up through became an area leader. And hey, Martina. She became an area leader and then district leader and whatever. And when she finally ended up quitting, she was one of the head people in HR, and she rewrote the complete human resources manual. And she left there and went to Colorado, worked in an office out there where she worked for two people. One of them, I don't remember for sure what they were, but I think one of them was a lawyer or something. I don't remember what the other one was, but she was secretary for both. It was kind of a deal where she worked at one desk for one, just turned her chair around to the other desk behind her, worked for the other one. But that's what she did all day long, was for the two of them. Okay, Josh, take care. It's 11:30 p.m. for Josh. Martina, are you still up or are you just getting up? You said good morning. I was thinking Philippines, but I forgot. You're in the UK. So you're, 5 hours ahead of me? 3:30 a.m.? 3:35, okay. You're up early? Yeah, especially for, I'm assuming, your day off. Well, and with that IG, that's the reason that we're having the problems, like you say, with the shelves being empty and whatever, because nobody wants to work. When COVID happened and they, a lot of places shut down because they couldn't meet the qualifications for social distancing and food handling and whatever the case was, the small businesses shut down, the big ones cut back, And a lot of people just felt they needed to quit working anyways for their own personal reasons. And then the government giving out these stimulus checks and extra unemployment and all that, and told people they didn't have to look for a job. They got lazy. They're still sitting at home waiting for another stimulus check. As far as the stuff that's supposed to be on the shelf at Walmart or wherever, it's sitting in the damn container ships off the coast, both California and here on the East Coast, but they don't have people in the ports to unload them. The stuff is just sitting there waiting for somebody to come and do the work and unload them. They keep saying all the time, well, there's a shortage of truck drivers. There's a shortage of truck drivers. Well, hell, there is. There's a lot of truck drivers on the road right now that at half time are sitting waiting because they can't get a load. If they can't get a load, then we don't have a shortage of truck drivers. Mike Roberts is an example of that. There's different times that I talk to him and he says he'll be sitting somewhere for 2 or 3 days waiting on a load. Now I know John, Lynn, and Patrick have been, with the way they're working, they've been doing good in keeping loads. They're on the go all the time. The difference in what they haul, because they're running flatbed, different type of materials that they're transporting, where Mike runs dry box. A lot of stuff he moves is like kitchen cabinets and stuff. Yeah, well, that's the way I am, IJ. To me, it was nice to get, but I didn't need it, and I didn't figure I was entitled to it because everything that happened didn't affect me in any way. I wasn't working. I was drawing my Social Security, so nothing changed for me. Yeah, exactly, Martinez. Truck driver they get paid by the mile. They don't get paid by the hour. So if you're just sitting parked somewhere, you're not making any money. And if you're an owner operator and own your own truck, or a lot of times the bank still owns it, you're making payments. Well, you still got to make them payments whether you're working or not. And right now, Mike's even talking on wanting to get another truck, which means he'll have payments again. He wants to get something newer. Now, John, Lynn, and Patrick, I think they presently have 6 trucks that they have bought. And Patrick was saying recently that, I don't remember now whether they were ordering more to get up to 10 or they were ordering 10 more trucks. But again, it's just like the inventory at Walmart and wherever. The truck parts and stuff are slow coming in. So the trucks being built is taking time. They're not being ready when they originally thought they would. But they're wanting to get more trucks to hire more drivers. The trucks they've got now, well, Patrick and John and Lynn are back riding together as a team. Patrick's son Corey and his wife Rona, which is Filipina, are driving team together. Patrick's other son, I can't think of his name. He's driving truck solo. Patrick's daughter Becca is driving solo. And I think they've got one truck right now that is sitting empty. Because John Lynn was driving it. Her and Patrick were were driving singles for a while. Back when they were training Rona and Becca. They used to work for R&L in Ohio, near where they live at. Same place Ken's brother, their gym, works at. They drove team there. If you look at their older videos, that's back when they were pulling double trailers. They ran from Ohio to Connecticut every week. They would leave out Monday afternoon, and depending on the weather, be home either Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. I don't know what they still have in the Philippines. They used to have a piggery in the Philippines. I'm not sure if they still have that operating or not. I miss being on the road. I miss the travel. Miss just getting to go places, stuff all the time. But the new regulations and everything just make it harder to do anything anymore, and the cost just keeps going up and up all the time. They were racing pigs. That's what I say. I'm not sure if they've still got it going or not. They say different stuff at different times, and I don't always catch what they say when in the live streams to know exactly what they said. Lately, it's been harder to follow their live streams because Patrick will be sitting there with two phones, one in each hand. One of them's John Lynn's YouTube live stream, and the other one's her Twitter live stream. I haven't been seeing either of my sisters since I came off the road. Well, I haven't been to see Peggy in Indiana since she's been there. And I didn't get out to see her when she was in Colorado. She came here a couple different times, plus I saw her different times in New York when we were doing stuff there with Mom and Dad's house, getting ready to sell. And then a lot of my trips to New York, I went and stayed at my sister's up there. I would go make my delivery wherever, or go there first and then go back, make my delivery, then go back and stay at her place for a while I look for the next load to come back. You're going to eat again? Yeah. I got a couple, I don't know what they're called. They're about that big around. Muffin type cake thing out there in the kitchen. I think I'm going to get one of them pretty soon and eat it. My big problem right now, IJ, as far as me going anywhere, same thing, like I want to go to the Philippines, but I can't because of the cats. Now, if my neighbor goes and kills them all off for me, I won't have to worry about it. just the arguing with him yesterday just got me thinking again more about, and I've gotten attached to him, and I hate to do it, but seeing about taking one every once in a while over to that place I went to before to see about, that takes in strays or whatever, and then they adopt them out. It would save me a lot of work and a lot of money for what I'm spending on them right now. I just ordered another $72 and something in feed and whatnot for them a week ago. I had the problem before there about the possums and the raccoons and stuff coming in and eating the food. And well, if the neighbor's dog does, I'll probably end up shooting it. But I shot one raccoon and got rid of, I think, 3 possums. And now I'm having problems with other neighborhood stray cats coming in. I mean, they've got so used to wanting to come here and get the food that I go out in the morning, they're already laying out there waiting, and I have to chase them off. So that's just costing me a lot more with them stealing the food plus fighting with mine. I've become attached to them and, don't want to lose any of them. But at the same time, I wish I didn't have any of them, even Fluffy, in the house. Just like I said, because of the cost and the work that's involved with them, and always cleaning up after her in here because everywhere you go, I got cat hair, so I have to clean the furniture off. Where she lays at, and vacuum the carpets and whatnot. And she's a big fluffy cat, so every time she leaves a bunch of fur somewhere, it's a bunch of it. But even keeping just that one, I'd still have, the problem as far as wanting to have somebody to take care of it if I go someplace. When I had Shadow that used to ride with me in the truck, when I was going to New York there, I went and stayed at Mom and Dad's house. I mean, it was empty when we was getting stuff ready in it to sell. I could just turn the cat loose and let it run in there. But as far as going to my sister, see, she had cats of her own, well, still does. So I couldn't very well take mine there and turn it loose in her house. And I definitely can't take one to the Philippines. Animals don't always survive a air flight trip just because of the way they transport them. Dried fish don't sound appealing to me. Alrighty, I will say goodnight to you too then, and I'll go ahead and end this. It's showing you're the only one here. Martina must have left, and Josh must have got kicked off or something. Well, like I said, I wish you had Skype where we could talk like this easier and not have to spend time waiting on emails and stuff, or doing it here on YouTube. We could talk about, whatever, and you can show me how to edit videos. Well, people do take it, but like I said, animals don't always survive them flights. And for me to go from here to Manila is 22 hours. That's a long time to have an animal, locked in a cage in various airplanes and handled through the airport and whatnot. Well, see, the only thing I've got on the dried fish, IJ, is just the stuff I hear about them. I've never had them. I've never been around where they've been fixing them or anything, so I don't know anything about them. And then one of the things that really just don't appeal to me definitely is on any of the fish, is it the way you guys eat them, heads and all. See, that's the part we cut off here and throw away. Alrighty, well, I'm going to let you go then so you can go eat your dried fish. And I will talk with you tomorrow. I don't remember if I sent you an email that you haven't answered yet or not, or if you sent me one that I haven't answered. I'll have to go look. Yeah, and see, that's one of the things there. Anything I eat, if it's been fixed by other than me, is salty. I don't use salt in anything. Just going to McDonald's, everything tastes salty. But I've always said, places like McDonald's, that's where you go to get salt and grease. All right, good night. Talk with you later.